come with me on a behind the scenes look at a vacant Big Lots. This Big Lots is in Jacksonville, Florida, in the Mandarin area on San Jose Boulevard and Old St. Augustine Road. It's a shopping center that we own, Saglo Companies, and this Big Lots recently vacated. I'm going to show you what's inside and some of the things that we think about when a Big Lots vacates. They have the furniture store on the right that was part of Big Lots, and then there was if you look in between the laundry with the blue facade, that was also part of their store. So they had essentially 3 spaces that they combined over the decades. Just to give you a little bit look of the shopping center itself, this is a 65,000 square foot shopping center, as I stated, on San Jose Road and Old St. Augustine Road. And it's got a St. Vincent de Paul thrift store, laundry, and a few other services, the taco stand, the one night taco stand, and a Starbucks that's a shadow. Exciting part of this intersection that's coming soon is the Home Depot that is taking over a former Kmart. So this is just another example of how retail evolves, where Kmart was a dying concept and eventually died. Now Home Depot, one of the strongest retailers in our space, has taken over it. The same thing will happen at this Big Lots over here right across the street. So let's go in. All right, so this Big Lots, I think, is vintage either 1990s or I think it's 1990s. So one of the things that I realized here when I first walked in is that unlike a lot of other Big Lots where it's just one big space, this is actually 3 spaces that they never really fully combined. If you look at the space on the right, which had the furniture sign right above it, you'll notice that the wall is here. The wall, and one thing that you're looking at when you're looking at these Big Lots is that, does the wall go to the ceiling or does it go through the ceiling? And you'll see that the wall actually goes through the ceiling, and not only that, it's a concrete block. So certainly that's a firewall. And this is the way that they combined the space, was just opening up this 20-foot opening. So to demise this space would be fairly easy, where all you have to do is close this 20-foot opening. The same thing can be said on the other side, where they had 2 20-foot openings, combining the left side space to the center part. Just to give you an idea of dimensions, this middle part of the space, which is the biggest, is about 16,000 square feet. The space to the right, where they had the furniture sign up, is about 7,300 square feet. And the space to the left is about 6,900 square feet. One of the great things about this particular Big Lots compared to the other Big Lots is that it's fairly shallow, meaning that a lot of retailers try to stay away from very deep spaces, because the deeper the space, the more square footage they have to take, or the less frontage that they're going to get. It's just, you know, when you take the gross leasable area of a space, it's the width divided by the length, or the width multiplied by the length. So the longer the space, or the deeper the space, the less width that you're going to get. The space is very clean, and one of the other things that we look at is how tall it is from the floor to the bottom of the deck. And so you'll see when you're looking at the roof here that you have like these joist beams, and then you have a deck, and then you have roof penetrations for maybe it's HVAC, maybe it's ventilation of some sorts, and then you'll have the distribution of the HVAC. And why that's important is because there's some uses that really need a high ceiling. For example, the trampoline type of uses, maybe some types of gyms might really need something higher because of what they do inside of it, and so you really need to know the height of it. The height of this space between the floor and the bottom of the deck is actually about 14 feet. So I think a lot of those trampoline places like to be closer to 17 feet or 20 feet. So we're a little bit short on that. We wouldn't want someone hitting their head. Coming back here, one of the things that you're also looking at is that this space has 2 bathrooms already. So you know that when you demise it, the bathrooms are already here, which maybe they're not up to code or maybe they are, but at least the plumbing's there, so it just makes it much easier to have. Then you have a rear door that leads to the outside area, so your loading is going to be fairly easy. That's a little bit of a mezzanine, but probably you're not allowed to use it. And then you have your electric panels. So when you're looking at space, you're looking at electric panels, you're looking at bathrooms, you're looking at the backdoor access, and you're looking at firewalls. So those are all things, because those are the big dollar items. The cost to demise a Big Lots, if I didn't have all of that, could be, $200 a foot or $150 a foot, or maybe $100 a foot if you get lucky. A average Big Lots is about 35,000 square feet. So if you think about that, 200 a foot is $7 million. 100 a foot is $3.5 million. And that's a lot of money just to divide the space, because you have to put in, as I stated, the firewall. You have to put bathrooms in on each side. You have to make sure that each of the back has their own delivery door. You have to make sure all of the front has storefront and has access. You need to make sure that the air conditioning distribution is right, because if it's one space, it's designed for one large space. Doing it as 3 separate spaces, you're changing the distribution completely. I don't know if I mentioned electric panels, but electric panels. And so all of that is very costly. As well as the ceiling tiles. Once you start messing around with the firewalls, you're going to have to change the ceiling tile grid, and that can get very costly as well. So let's go over to the middle part, and like I said, the one that we just walked through on the right hand side, that is actually about 7,300 square feet. This middle one's about 16,000 square feet, and I'm going to show you a little bit about or a little bit on what it looks like inside of here. So back here you have I think that leads to like a little bit of an office. Then you do have your bathrooms, so that's plumbing, check. You got your bathrooms, both men's and women's, so that just means that it's that much easier to make this its own space without having to bring in more items. And then back here, because this is the main part of the space, you do have your loading here. So you can see that this is a very old building. So it looks pretty old back here, but it's functional. So you have your loading door here, and this is like a scissor lift. So you got a scissor lift, loading door. I think that's a baler. You got another loading door over here that's located a little bit closer to the floor. A little mezzanine area that you're not going to use. Your exit door. So that's check. You got all of that. And there's plenty of back of the house stuff here for a user. You have your electric panels there, and again another egress. So what are the types of uses that could use these spaces? What are we really targeting? We first look at the community that the property is located in. This is kind of like the Mandarin community of Jacksonville, which is high income. It has good schools around there, a lot of families, and so you would need that kind of service. We have the Home Depot going across the way, so we think that the top use categories we're going to go after are going to leverage all of those advantages. For the Home Depot part of it, we're going to go after flooring stores, furniture stores, kitchen and bath stores, paint stores, anything that's home related where maybe people going to Home Depot, they don't want to buy bare paint, maybe they don't want to buy their Mohawk carpet, perhaps they want, a better brand, or they want something a little bit different. So I think that would be very good. Alternatively, when you're going to buy stuff from Home Depot, you're buying it for a house. Maybe it's furniture, maybe it's patio furniture, maybe it's spa equipment like whirlpools, maybe it's home furnishings, so stuff like that. So we're going to go after that. But also, like I mentioned, there's a lot of families in the area, and urgent care medical is a use category that you're starting to see a lot of in the retail shopping center space. So that health category where you have the urgent cares that need convenience, they need visibility, they can easily take the 7,000 square foot space. Also in the middle, we're going to really pursue maybe gyms or fitness centers to take the 16,000 square foot space. That could be an option, or maybe even a specialty grocer. Maybe something that's either high-end grocer or an ethnic grocer like an Asian grocer, or some other a Latin grocer, something like that. So we'll look at the space on the left. By the way, this is Kristen. She's with Lat Purser, and she is the leasing associate and property manager of the property. So if you are interested, I will drop the link for her contact info below, but she's great and she can help you. All right, so this is the space on the left. It has your storefront, it has a front door, check, check. It has your demising wall, which is also a concrete block wall, firewall, check, that's done. It's wide open. One of the things about this space that's really unique is that on the other side of that wall is not another tenant, but it's actually a grassy area. And we feel that this space would make a really good daycare, because the daycares all have a requirement to have an outdoor playground area behind their space, and not every shopping center has that space available for them to take on. So we're going to really focus on making sure we can find some sort of daycare here. And like I mentioned, there's a lot of families in this Mandarin market, and with families, the daycare type of use is in high demand. So now we're going to go back here. It's a very small loading area, but if it becomes a daycare, this will look completely different and it won't be necessary. But you do have the egress, you do have the electric panel. The one thing that you don't have here are its own bathrooms, so that just would be an additional cost that usually the landlord will pick up to get it into vanilla shell shape, just the bathrooms. And you got a lot of options here. So I just learned from Kristen, our all-knowing property manager and leasing associate, that there were bathrooms here at one point. So bringing in the plumbing would just mean you don't have to bring it in, it's already there. You just have to tap it and turn that area that used to be in back into a bathroom. And this is your full tour of a Vacant Big Lots. If you really, were interested in what a Vacant Big Lots look like on the inside as opposed to the outside, now you know. And we are actively marketing this space for lease. We are speaking with already a number of really good retailers that are actively expanding, but it's always great to learn who else could be interested so that we have a little bit more options. All right, here we are at the entrance of the center. You can see Beauclerc Village. The C is silent, and we are right on San Jose Boulevard. which is also County Road 13. This is one of the oldest north-south corridors in all of Duval County, Jacksonville, Florida. It's been an important retail corridor for maybe 100 years or more, maybe multiple hundreds of years. So you can see the traffic that's here. The traffic counts are awesome. Not part of our center, but part of the project itself is Bubbles Car Wash. It's kind of an institution. They usually have a line out the door. And then Grease Monkey, which is not part of our property, but part of the project, is an oil change place. You have One Night Taco Stand, which is a very good Mexican taco restaurant. And it is part of our property. That's our pylon sign. And the Big Lots sign would be the one that you would get if you were to take this space. And this is another shopping center that's separately owned with a dry cleaner and shoe repair and alterations that is not part of our property but part of the project. So you can see there's a lot of service uses, and retail has become a lot more service oriented and daily needs as it's evolved over the decades. You have car wash service, One Night Taco restaurant, Grease Monkey service, dry cleaner service, shoe repair service, and even you have the Punto Latino, which offers tax returns and things like that. There's a barber shop over there and a number of services, coin laundry service. St. Vincent's de Paul thrift store, that is more of your discount retail treasure hunt type of experience, where the products are not commoditized. Every time you go there, you're going to have a different type of merchandise to choose from. We did upgrade our lights to LED a few years back. There's not a ton of landscaping, which this is a 1960s property, so that's just how it was back then, which is good because you have great visibility to your storefronts. Sometimes the canopies of these trees can get so large that it affects the visibility to the storefronts from the road. The mansard roof is standing seam aluminum and relatively new. We put that in the last 5 years. The roof is in pretty good shape, and the parking lot itself, the striping's good. Although looks like some people were doing a donut here or something like that, which is a problem in the shopping center space. People like to do things they're not supposed to do sometimes. Then you have your Thomas Ace Hardware on the left-hand side. Across the way, there's another small shopping center, again a dry cleaner, Once Upon a Child. So just to kind of recap, I think that the space here on the left, that's the one that I think would be a great space for a daycare, and I think that the main space could be interesting for either a food market or a fitness use or something like that. And then what's labeled as a furniture store, I think would be really good for medical, urgent care, something that the visibility to the road is really important. As you can see, it's right there, direct line sight to the road, and convenience. It's full access here. You can really get in and out of the property very well. San Jose Boulevard, Old St. Augustine Road, you can go north, south, east, west, and you are right across from the Home Depot that is under construction. That will be opening very shortly. I think they're slated to open right now. Today is late August 2025. I think that they are slated to open in the next 2 months, maybe, I think 2 months. So this is the property. My name's Hue Chen. I'm president of Saglo Companies. I've been in the retail shopping center industry for about 25 years now. I started in the year 2000 in retail leasing for about 12 years. Now I touch pretty much every part of the company, from property management to acquisitions to capital markets to accounting. Leasing is something I'm very much I have a strong opinion about that, and I've had a lot of experience in that as well. So I am a part owner of this property as well, and just want to reinforce that a lot of times on YouTube you see people that speak about the things but aren't in the direct minutia of those things. I am, and I'm the one meeting with our leasing teams, property management, etc. So what I'm telling you is really from first-hand experience, first-person perspective. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, subscribe, comment below. If you are a retailer, reach out to me. I'll put you in touch with Kristen or Director of Leasing, Luis, one or the other. And I think this could be a great opportunity. I mean, I love this Jacksonville market. It's safe, it's nice, good incomes, good schools, good families. All right, talk to you later.